First thing that we have to do.
Yeah.
I learned something yesterday, and I thought I was pretty well informed about the Federal Reserve. I learned something yesterday. Ron Paul has a bill, H.R. 1207, to audit the Federal Reserve, but it goes deeper than that. It's a bill to legalizing auditing the Federal Reserve. It is currently against federal law for the federal government to audit the Federal Reserve. Unless they get written permission from the Federal Reserve. That is literally in the United States Code. So I saw Congressman Scalise before the event today, and I asked him if he would please co-sponsor it. It currently has 55 co-sponsors. Steve is not one of them. He said he wasn't aware of the bill, so I would encourage all 50 of you to please call Steve's office and encourage him to co-sponsor that bill and definitely vote for it when it comes in front of him. It's H.R. 1207, the Federal Reserve Transparency Act, to legalize the auditing of the Federal Reserve that creates trillions and trillions of dollars. In 1773, before there was the United States, there was America and Americans with an American spirit. And on December 16th of that year in Boston, nearly 200 of them got together and did a lot more than protest and complain about their tyrannical government and taxation without representation.
That's right, they did.
They stood up to their tyrannical government. And now it is our time to stand up against our tyrannical government. And if that sounds extreme, I encourage you to read this document that was produced this month and is being sent at your expense from the Department of Homeland Security to local law enforcement. And it describes all of us as right-wing extremists. That is one step from the gulag.
Right.
Well, maybe it doesn't describe you. Let's see who it does describe. If you are pro-life, there's probably none of you here. Or if you are upset with the bailout, or concerned about illegal immigration, or maybe if you're a returning veteran. Folks, I don't think they have enough room in the paddy wagon for us all. I don't know who drive it. You don't think the sheriff is a right-wing extremist if that's what it is?
Room for 500 in the paddy wagon.
I think we're going to have to get a bigger paddy wagon. They also call you a right-wing extremist if you're anti-government. I'm not anti-government, but I do think we need a government that's espoused in the Declaration of Independence, where the role of government is to secure our natural rights, and government doesn't have a function beyond that. So I'm not anti-government, but I do have a strong suspicion that my government is anti-me and anti-you. They say so right here. Before I forget, I'd like to announce the launching of a brand new website. As of today, it was first conceived 72 hours ago. I invite you to go visit OurTimeToStand.com. There will be a simple explanation about the Federal Reserve, about what money is, how they get it. Did you know that the Federal Reserve has recently created some $12 trillion and injected into the economy, and about 2/3 of that, they didn't go to Congress for that, they just did it. Last month, they created $2.2 trillion, lent it to the commercial banks, didn't get anyone's permission to do it except their own, and they didn't have it. They created it, lent it to the banks, had interest, enriched themselves, and when Bernie Sanders, a U.S. Senator, asked Bernanke, will you tell the American people who you lent the money to? Bernanke's answer was short, direct, and it was no. Who's in control here? We have a Congress that seems to not be accountable to us, and a Federal Reserve that is not accountable to Congress. They must be audited, and they must be abolished.
Where's the flag?
Fast forward 3 years from the Boston Tea Party. It's December 23rd, 1776 in Pennsylvania. I guarantee you, you've never felt that kind of cold.
The answer
And a
to
soldier in
1984,
George Washington's
1776.
colonial army sitting by a campfire, using the head of a drum for a desk, with the world's most formidable army nearby and wanting him dead. He penned the first of 6 essays he called The Crisis. That soldier's name was Thomas Paine, and he started the first essay with the ringing phrase, "These are the times that try men's souls. The summer patriot, the summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of his country. But he that stands it now deserves the love and honor of man and woman." And did you know that Thomas Paine wrote the word now in all capital letters for a reason? He didn't mean next week. He didn't mean in a few months. He meant now. And today we are standing up. Two last things, and then I gotta go. I would encourage you to ask your state representative and state senators to start asking the state of Louisiana to live up to the United States Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, that says no state shall make anything but gold and silver coin as a tender in payment. The state of Louisiana is complicit in our impoverishedness by paying us in fiat currency. That is constitutional, and we need to take a priority on that. Finally, the best source that I know of anywhere regarding the Federal Reserve is a book by a gentleman named G. Edward Griffin. I've never met Mr. Griffin. I've talked to him for a minute or so. His book is called The Creature from Jekyll Island, The Second Look at the Federal Reserve. It's a long book, but I've read it probably 7 or 8 times. It's the best book I have ever read in my life. And that's saying something. I've read a lot of books. I'd like to, this happens to be an autographed copy. And I'd like to present it to my new friend Jeff Crouer. And I hope you enjoy reading it. It's autographed by the author, Mr. G. Edward Griffin. No, you are the man. Let me give props to Jeff, who covers issues that no one else in the media covers. And we wouldn't all be here today, all 50 of us, or 48, or whatever, unless it were for Jeff. So I would ask you to please give him a big hand. Thank you very much.